ever screened yourself for testicular cancer?
I've never screened myself for testicular cancer.
Why not?
Because, I don't know, being a man, being an alpha male, stubborn.
For one, I wouldn't know what to look for. And yeah, it's weird and I just wouldn't do it.
Guys don't really like to get their balls out as much as girls will get their boobs out.
Don't really want some dude playing my kit, no.
Nah, I don't let the girls handle that one, unfortunately.
With girls, we talk about anything. Sit with your girlfriends and talk about everything. So with guys, I don't really think they sit around talking about their testicles.
Testicles are probably the last place any man would want to make a dire discovery.
A lot of masculinity has been based around the penis and the testicles. And so, therefore, it's been perceived that the larger the penis and the larger the balls, the more masculine you are.
About a month ago, 22-year-old Brian realised something was wrong with one of his testicles.
I don't even remember how I found the lump, actually, but somehow just one day on a self-examination, I noticed that there was something different. It wasn't painful, there wasn't any symptoms. Brian is talking about the day he found a lump in his left testicle. About a week later, he had the testicle surgically removed. Everyone knows of Lance Armstrong and his sort of story, so you know it's a thing that happens, you just don't think it happens to you. But it's more prevalent than you might think. Testicular cancer is actually the second most common form of cancer among men aged between 16 and 35. Around 700 Aussie men are diagnosed with testicular cancer each year. More than half of them are under 35. It's one of those things you kind of tote around and you joke about, but when it came to an actual problem with a testicle, it was kind of hard to come out at first.
The first sign of testis cancer is that is a lump. And with many cancers, the main thing to do is identify it as soon as possible before it is spread. And what I would suggest is that men just examine their testicles once a month in the shower so that you know what your normal testicles feel like. And if a change does happen, you've noticed a difference. Professor Chris Sweeney is a world-recognised oncologist specialising in men's cancer. If it is found early, you only have to remove one testicle and there's a very good chance that it's cured and will never come back.
And have you noticed any abnormality in your remaining testicle?
No, it feels normal, actually.
Okay.
Dr. Peter Nash is a urologist whose job it is to determine if a testicle needs to be removed and then carries out the surgery.
So this is the ultrasound obtained by Brian's general practitioner. And what we can see here, this is his right testicle in what they call a longitudinal view. And what we like to see in a normal testicle is a generally uniform echo texture. Clearly on this slice here, we can see an abnormality.
So that's the cancer, just that lump there?
Correct.
So is it difficult for you to have to tell a young man that, you know, we've no option but to remove a testicle?
Yes, we're well aware of the implications that the diagnosis has on a young man and the concern that they would have with the apparent loss of a part of their sexual organs.
So how did you feel, Brian, when you were told you had to have surgery?
Well, when Dr. Nash told me I had to have surgery, there weren't any other options to think about, so I guess it was just something I had to come to terms with. I was anxious before surgery. I was afraid I'd come out differently. I don't know, maybe just a general feeling within myself that I'd feel differently. I've had to cut out playing sports a bit, actually, because it's all healing up. I don't want to damage it any further at the moment. But in terms of my emotional feeling or daily, everyday life, I'm just going on with my normal activities. Not much has changed apart from that. But then why are some guys reluctant to go and see a doctor?
When boys play sport, for example, if they fall over, they're told to get up and to continue playing on and continue playing in pain. And a boy, for example, when he's a little bit older, might get a cold or the flu or whatever, and he thinks back to the time when he fell over on the football field and he's told to get up and play on.
Murray Drummond is a men's health researcher and studies men's attitudes towards illness and asking for help.
You might find a lump on one of your testicles. Well, everything else has gone away. You know, the sore throat that we had went away and the flu that I had kind of went away. Well, this lump might also go away as well.
I don't think it is spoken about enough, especially amongst guys. Compared to women, you know, they talk about breast cancer all the time. Like, they speak to each other about it, it's an open issue. But with guys, I don't know, we don't really talk about our testicles.
While removing the testicle can be swift and usually without complication, there can be long-term effects of testicular cancer, such as temporary drops in fertility, depression and lack of sexual self-esteem.
But it doesn't mean you can't have kids in the future, and there is the option of getting a prosthetic implant.
So Brian, have you considered a testicular prosthesis?
I'm kind of comfortable with my own body image, and I don't think anyone else thinks differently, so I have decided against it. And in terms of sex life, I don't think it's as much of an issue among women as it is for guys. So if I'm not uncomfortable with it, I don't see any reason why anyone else should be uncomfortable with it.
Brian is getting on with things post-surgery, and he's figured out a way to manage his mate's balls jokes.
Anytime you mention anything about balls and nuts, you have to put money into the swear jar, and we've actually named it the coin purse, which is kind of funny, I guess. I'm actually trying to locate a good foundation to put it to, but right now I'm thinking Cancer Australia would be a good place to send that money towards.